What's up, guys? Welcome back to another day media video. Today's video is going to be about how your brand sucks, honestly, because of you. If you are not a vibe, you're going to surround your brand with things that are not a vibe. Are we on the same page? Most people are not cool enough to own a brand. And that right there is one of the main things that I kind of have to tell people a lot in a nice way. For a brand to really pop off, I'm not saying the owner has to be a cajillionaire or all these things. I do think that the owner has to be a person of curation. Meaning, like, you don't like shit just to be liking shit. You like that thing because it just matches you completely, and you know that, oh, this is my vibe and this is how I'm gonna wear it. They don't have that aspect to them where you know what type of aesthetic they are. You immediately know. You know what vibe they're giving off. All those things. Some people just don't have this. And to own a clothing brand, you kind of need a sense of this. You kind of need to know this is where my brand would be at if I had to picture it somewhere in the world. This is where they would live at. This is where they would like reside at. This is the stuff that they would do. If you can understand that, it should be like super easy for you to make content, all those things. That's why when people come to me like saying it's hard to make content, I'm like, well, that's a you issue kind of, because you're not curating, because all content is curating. Like, when I make content for the brands I work with, I'm literally curating content based on their brand vibe, and I'm communicating that brand vibe to random people on the internet. That's literally what I do. So for people to not understand how to do this, it's very nerve-wracking, because if you don't know how to do this, that means your brand does not have a good solid foundation of who it is, right? So because we're supposed to be treating brands like entities that are fucking real, that we could actually pick at and stuff. Most people are not treating their brands like that, and most people don't even have the vibe to do that. Most people are very uncool. So this is like a big thing. This is big. It's small, but it's big. And you can kind of tell the brands who just don't have a vibe. Sometimes they come around and say, I'm just a streetwear brand. You're not just a streetwear brand. You are a subsection of a streetwear brand. You can't just be streetwear and be like, fuck it, right? You have to be streetwear mixed with other things. Other things that are very noticeable, and the customer / consumer can point it out. So I put these pictures here because I'm just like, you could tell by these pictures like if it did have a piece. Like, imagine a clothing brand on top of each of these pictures. You could see it. Like, you could be like, oh yeah, that would go with that, that would go with that, that would go with that. Like, this one right here, they look at the Yvonne Mock type vibe. I could put a Mad Happy hoodie on top of that. This one right here, I could put a Park hoodie on top of here. This one, I think this one's more like whimsical and vibe. I could put Lisa Says Ga on top of this, just to mix it all together, right? Sandy Liang, however you say it, would go on top of here really well. Just make one of these for your brand and see what the products that you would pop up, what products would pop up within this. Even not even products, but even like celebrities, if you want to do something like that. Cool, like in fashion influencers, if you want to add them as well, because this is the part of curation that most people would like to see, but brands don't do it. Frankie's Bikinis does it so well, where they do complete full mood boards around it, and it's perfect because it's communicating the brand. The issue with making content and you're not a cool person, or having a brand and you're not surrounding it around cool stuff, usually you sell the fuck out of it. Meaning, like, you're always like, here's my shit, here's my shit, here's my shit. And it's like, no one cares. So when you're saying, I'm about to drop this is coming out, you can get this, go to my link, shut up, stop doing that. I'm literally going to kill you, as I wrote in the slideshow. They don't care what you sell. They want to know what you're associated with. So this is my thing. People, including me and you, have brand worlds that hold up so much weight. When we buy stuff, we're usually putting it in a category in our brand world in our head. So just think about when you buy stuff. Why do you buy it? You buy it because you're associating it with something else. You always will be doing that. Especially people who thrift. Oh, you're associating that with another brand. Even if you go on a PacSun or a Urban Outfitters, you're associating that piece with something else. Oh, this looks luxury. oh, this looks like this. Even if you go to like Zara or something, you find something that you fuck with, you're like, oh, this piece in Zara looks like this. This looks like that. You're always associating it with another brand because you have a brand world in your head. Especially people who like clothes. You have this world that's in your head that you could really just kind of fuck with and play with different clothes, and then you kind of put them in their own category. This might sound like I'm like over pushing it, but it's true. That's why people buy certain things. People buy certain things because they look like something that they wanted to get, and they just kind of, they either found the better version with you, the cheaper version with you, or the expensive version with you. So instead of throwing it out that you're dropping something, or that this is coming out, or you could get this, how about you just hide your brand in plain sight? Hide it within the curation. Hide it within your content that gives the customer something to always come back to. Something that you can do to fuck with the customer. Make them feel so uncool and like they would never ever in their life have a vibe like yours unless they buy a piece from you. Just by showing them cool ass things, just by showing them very cool surroundings that you put with your brand, you doing something as simple as that puts the customer in the mindset, this person is cooler than me. But for me to upgrade to a cooler version, I need to buy something from them, right? This is why I say clothing brand owners have no class. Class is done. They don't have that anymore. They don't have the vibe that you need to have a clothing brand. They do not, because it's literally all in or nothing when you have a clothing brand. So my best piece of advice for people who just kind of say drop this, drop that, they're just posting shit, their shit looks like JCPenney. We want the customer to feel uncool so they could buy our product and then feel cool again. And then that's how we empower them, through buying products that we enjoy, right? So this is why I said clothing brand owners, no class. No class at all. It's no class because people just got to just make shit. So when people just make shit, it looks crazy. So like I said, you are better than the customer. Instead of selling, hey, I'm dropping this, hey, I'm dropping that, make the customer feel like the least coolest person in the world. You do not want to sell me the brand. You want to sell me associations with the brand, and that could be products, things, places. You want to sell the association the brand has, which is the perfect way to have any clothing brand. So guys, like I said, you have to be a cool person to do this shit. If you're not cool, it's going to be very hard for you to make content. It's going to be very hard for you to do everything. So, a lot of people said my prices were too high, which is crazy because my prices on my site, I did raise them, but they're not high at all. You're literally not cool enough to talk to me about your brand. Your brand's not that cool enough for it. So that's probably why. So, yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next.